Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, fine. What you have decided for your projects, whether your title and abstracts is everything okay? I will ask particularly one person. Gayatri, please answer. Gayatri, Akilan, Akilan, are you there? Aparna,
Sir, sir, can you
okay.
hear me?
Yeah, it's clear. And what about your project status? Have you
Uh,
hmm,
we have not yet updated, sir, but we are thinking on a web app that can be hosted in Linux.
Okay, that's fine. But I'm going to fix a deadline. And before today night, 12 o'clock, everyone should complete your project decision. Okay, what topic, what title you are going to do the project, and what abstract you are going to write, and your teammates. And the teammates should be inside your batch with 5 members. More than that, it is not allowed. If anyone else is more than that, means I will pick them out and put your name in different teams. Okay, for that one, for your comfortable zone to work only, I am asking you to pick your own team. Okay, that's fine. And many of them were sending mails to me by mentioning the project title, list of members. I will create a link in a classroom, Google Classroom. I want you to formally type your information in a Word document. Just type your title and the abstract of your work. And after that, your registration number along with your name with your teammates. Like this, I want exactly 12 documents for this class. Each five means I want 12 documents for this class, batch A, and batch B students. You send your details to Professor Shiva Shankar. In that also, you should be the same thing only. You should be five in a team, and abstract topic should be there, abstract should be clear. Abstract means it should be in 2 to 3 lines explaining what you're going to do. And I want to know each and everyone what role you are doing in your project. Okay. If I am working the front end work means front end back end work means we have 4 modules in our project. We are splitting that among us means that thing you have to mention because I don't want you to be just a team member in a project. I want you to be a participant in a project. Okay, so during the review meetings, you will be asked questions equally. So get prepared for it. Okay. Then today night will be the deadline for submitting the project decision. We will create a separate link in the name of project decision, like assignment. You should submit this document. In that document, you should mention your title, abstract, and themes. And I want to know uh, your purpose of your project. Okay, it should not be a time passing purpose or the existing purpose. And it should be practically known to others and useful to to others. Okay, I may reject your project in this stage itself because you just make a note on it on which aspects your project title would be selected for this one. Okay, it should be a useful product. It should be a productified. If there is no that much novelty means it is not considered. Okay, that's not a problem. But your project should have some work which should be practically useful for others. Let it be. If it is a simple and a small project means it's not a problem. But you should have some work in that. If a team is having 5 members, means 5 members also should have a work in that. And I will ask separately what you have done in this project. Explain that module like that. In case if you are failing to give me that explanation, particularly for you, the mark will be reduced. If 5 members, 4 members are explaining well, and one member is not able to explain the questions during the review, means your mark will be reduced. Don't think that if a project mark is overall mark, everyone get equal mark. Please don't think like that. Everyone should have their own work output in your project. Okay. can it be a website designing, sir? Website designing, it's not a project. In that, what work you're doing, everyone is doing website design. Your uniqueness should be in that project. Project should be like a work which you have in your hand or in your device. Okay? Or as explain, nice work. But website designing doesn't work here. Okay? Because subject is not that much. Website web based. It's an operating system based. You can do anything which is system based and software anything. But you should work with the Linux platform. And yesterday, one student asked me, my system is not supporting Linux. It is supporting Ubuntu Raspberry Pi version only. If it is, if you can use that Raspberry Pi version, and if you can come up with a work which is not IoT based, I will accept. If it is possible, you do. Otherwise, you have to go on with the Ubuntu 20 version and develop something on which you are comfortable with. And that's it. And don't send me your group member list in email. Just create a document and upload it in the classroom. After a few minutes, I will create a link in the name of project group detail, like that. Okay. I blankly like a project detail, OS project detail, like that. I will, we will create a link in two different Google Classroom. Shiv Shankar sir will create for that batch B students, so you can upload it. And that from that we will filter which is a useful project, which is not attractive project. It doesn't look attractive or not attractive project. It should have some motto. Even if I ask you about your project, you should have some reasonable points to convey. If you are convey like you should convince me. Okay, this product is useful. Use this much. It should not be a time pass thing. A game, like that, music, like that. It should not. It should be purposeful for the society or medical or system security, like that. Anything it may be, but it should have a purpose. That is a project. Without purpose, it is not a project. It is not a project, and that purpose should be a reasonable purpose. Okay. So make sure that you have all these features in your project, and you join with your team. And if anyone is having a problem in forming a team, see if any team is having 3 members and 2 members are not inside the team and they are outside, means please inform me before itself separately. I will put you in some team, or I will form such kind of person into a separate team, and you can work together. I think no one have that type of issues. I think so. If you are having, you can tell me, guys. If anyone is there in this meeting without any joining in any group, guys, are you there? Okay, so it confirms that everybody is inside a team, and send me a project which is worthy. Project title and abstract, and you will be 2-level review will be there. Before or after a CO2, you'll be having a 1-level review, and that review should explain us the purpose and the motto and what type of technology you are going to use for your project, what language you are using, like that. You should tell as a presentation. It will be a presentation just for 5 to 6 minutes presentation. You should prepare a slide for it, and you should present here online. 12 batches will present 12 projects. Everyone will be listening to you. Everything is online, nothing is personal. Okay. So be prepared for it. First of all, you just get confirmation from me by showing your project, and to Shiva Shankar sir. We will validate your project title and abstract, and we will let you know. And if it is changing, means you can change it immediately. But initial stage itself, we should change. So only I am giving the deadline within today's night 12 o'clock. Okay. And regarding this test, did anybody is having any feedback? Guys, let me ask another. Deepak, are you there? Deepak, are you there? Gayatri? You should respond. Then only I will confirm that you are present in this class. If you are not responding, it shows that you are not present in the class and we can mark it absent. So it should be interactive. I'm just asking a simple question. It's not even a question, I'm asking you a suggestion. Jagat Ashwin. Jagat Ashwin. Karan.
Sir,
Oh, always randomly Karan is coming. Okay, I think you have told about the test before itself, right? Karan,
yes, sir.
how was the question paper?
It was okay, sir. It is a little bit lengthy, but okay.
Lengthy means we should balance the timing and the
5 mark
content is.
questions. The 5 mark questions, especially I took the eighth question. It was a
Okay.
little bit. I made it a little bit lengthy. It
You
just-
need extra question, huh? Lengthy question.
sir.
Yeah.
This much length is enough, sir.
Okay, that's fine. It depends. For you, it may be different. For some person, it may be easy, no? That's your experience, I think so.
Maybe.
Yeah, the test is really for 1 hour. Obviously, I think this test became easy for you, and for next test it is somewhat complicated. We are
More
trying
complicated.
next test CO2. We are trying, so get prepared for that. Yeah,
Scare me, sir.
I'm not scaring. I'm just kind of conveying you what we are trying from our side. Okay,
Okay, sir.
and okay, whether it is easy or tough question paper, let us just go through that question paper and answers so that everyone in this group be aware of the answers of that question paper. Okay, first of all, I will ask the questions. One second. Yeah. First of all, I will ask the questions. If you answer, that means you tell the answers, and after that, I will tell which is the right answer. One second. Okay, now I will display you the question paper. In that question paper, we can discuss. Coming, is my screen visible? Anyone please respond?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. And I will start from the first, and I will give you the chance individually. Please don't tell openly, because everyone need to expose themselves in this group, because there are many students are riding. I'll ask them to speak. Which was the following types of the system needs more user-computer interaction? Okay, the options are batch systems, distributed systems, multiprocessors, and multi-thread. So I will ask randomly who is there. Jay Surya.
Sir,
Jay
batch
Surya.
system. Option yes, sir.
Sorry?
Option yes, sir. Option yes. Batch system.
I'm sorry, what are you telling?
Option yes, sir. Batch system.
Batch system. Okay. Yeah. For this, the answer is batch system. That is the correct answer. Which of the following statement is false in this four? Tightly coupled system don't share resource with each other. Asymmetrical clustering allows more than one system to execute a task. Handheld systems don't use the concept of virtual memory. Peer-to-peer systems is faster than the client-server model. For this second question, I will ask person Meghna. Meghna, are you there? Meghna? She's not. Hello? Yeah, Meghna, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is the answer for the second question from this question paper? Which is
Option
which
A is-
statement is A is false.
Option is false.
Okay. What is the reason why it is false?
Tightly coupled systems share resources with each other. Sir.
Yeah, of course. Then the name for the reason is this tightly coupled. Each and everything has separate parameters. Okay. Good. Thank you. Thank you for the answer. Which of the following is correct? Third statement. Meghna, thank you. You can mute up. Yeah. Which of the following is correct in this statement? Statement 1 is multi-programming uses time sharing, and statement 2 is multitasking is done at a single CPU. Which option is correct? Statement 1 and statement 2 are true, and statement 1 and 2 are false. Statement 1 is true, and statement 2 is true. Which option is correct? Now I can ask Vishal. Vishal, are you there? Vishal, yeah.
Yes, sir.
What is the
Option
answer?
D, sir.
What? Which one? This one. D.
Statement 2 is true.
Statement 2 is true.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm sorry, the answer is statement 2 is false. Because as we discussed yesterday, I think so, multitasking is a single CPU. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Multitasking means it has multiple CPU inside one computer.
Sir, that is for multi-processing mode, sir.
CPU has multiple CPU cores, no, sir. So
That
it can
cores,
do multiple
yeah,
tasking.
that is core. That is
Multitasking.
cores only. See, multitasking is done at a single CPU. It means that it is one processor. Okay.
Sir, one processor can have multiple cores.
Multiple
That is
cores.
how our systems now do multitasking,
Now-
sir.
Okay, that's fine. We will
So
consider
the,
it.
the statement true is true only, sir.
Okay, what about the statement 1?
It is false, sir.
Why it is
Time
false?
sharing is an extension of multi-programming, sir. Does not
Time
use-
sharing.
No.
Time sharing, multi-programming uses time sharing. What happens in multi-programming? Can you tell what happens
Sir.
in multi-programming?
In multi-programming, only context switching happens, sir.
Context
time
switching. Why it is happening context switching? To save the time. To save
Yes,
the
sir.
CPU idle time. While the CPU is idle, the time is wasted. So time sharing has happened with that idle time is shared with the next process. If CPU 1 is idle in the first process means the second process will save the work in the CPU and save the time. Once the IO process is completed, this process will go back and that will work in the
Execute.
CPU. So the CPU is continuously utilized. In the time sharing, it means that the time idle time is completely shared. Complete utilization, it means that time sharing only. So
Yes, sir.
how you can tell statement 1 is false?
Sir, I thought time sharing, now they are mentioning about that time quantum, sir.
No. In this place, time quantum is not at all present in multi-programming. Time quantum is comes in future only. The time quantum is the duration of the time fixed specifically. Okay, but here in multi-programming, no time is fixed specifically. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, that's fine. Actually, the answer is option B. You may have some different ideas. You can ask me separately in Telegram or anything. I will give you the explanation. Okay.
Okay.
The question you didn't write properly, sir. You should mention single CPU core because CPU is now considered as a group of CPU cores.
Okay.
So option D should be correct, sir. Multitasking can be done in a single CPU which has multiple cores because a single CPU has multiple cores.
It's done at a single CPU. Here, CPU is mentioned as a one processor. Okay, that's fine. There is some confusion. And for this question, we will consider. Okay. And what answer you're telling is done in a single CPU is second one is false. You're telling, right?
Second one, that is option D is correct answer. That is what I'm telling, sir. Statement 2 is true.
Okay. Statement 2 is true. And what about the statement 1?
Sir, what about the statement 1? Statement 1 is false, sir.
It's correct, na?
Sir, yes, sir. Then statement one is correct only, no, sir. Time
So,
share.
yeah, then how come the answer will be no? Answer will be A.
Yes, sir. A only, no, sir.
Option A, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, option A is for multi-program doesn't use time sharing, sir. Because
Multi-program times uses
No, sir.
time sharing.
no, sir, the process is completely executed and then it if there is an interruption with IO interruption, then it goes to the IO queue. Later on, it goes to the next process. Doesn't mean that the time sharing between each process and executing the time quantum, no, sir.
Yeah, actually the time is shared between the CPU and IO. Okay.
So the CPU
IO
time is not sharing, no, sir. The CPU time is completely executing for one process and shifting to the next process.
Okay.
There is no time sharing between process, no, sir.
The time sharing is not within a process. The time sharing is with other. Get me? T1, you are telling that the time sharing is within a process. If there is a time quantum fixed means the time sharing will be within a process. If there is no time sharing means the other process will come and share that hardware time. Okay, that's fine. There is a lot of confusion in this questions. I will consider it. Okay, coming to which of the following statement is correct? Multi-programming increases CPU idle time. Same, coming to the same point. And multitasking is a CPU utilization. Which one is correct? Hello? I will ask someone specifically. Naveen Kumar, are you there? Naveen Kumar? Nimalesh? Nimalesh? Naveen Kumar has answered D. Okay, you got answer D. Yep, that is correct. Statement 1 is to multi-program increases CPU's idle time. No, statement 1 is not correct. Oh, D, answer D. Oh, statement 2 is correct. Yeah. Multi-program increase CPU utilization. Okay, fine. And fifth question is when a process IO request is completed, to which state does it goes? What is the answer? Any volunteers?
Ready state, sir.
Ready state, sir.
Okay, it's fine. It's correct. I'm coming back to the question number 6. Describe briefly about different applications of operating systems. At least 3 operating systems. It is a theoretical question I'll ask. Saji. Are you there, Saji? Sajid? Sajid, are you there?
Sir, that's it.
Yeah, okay. For this question number 6, what answer you have written? What should be the answer?
I didn't attend the question.
You didn't attend it. Okay, then which question you have attended it?
I wrote 7th and 8th.
7th and 8th. Okay, 7th is a problem. Okay, that's fine. 8th one. What you have written in the 8th one?
First, I wrote what are the processes?
Process attribute. Okay, please tell me what are the process attributes?
First, I wrote the process states, then I wrote the attributes, then I wrote the operator.
Okay, states. Okay, tell me the states, process states.
Process states are new, running, waiting, and terminating. These are the states.
Sorry, your voice is not clear. Sorry.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Okay, carry on. Tell. Where?
Different process states are new, ready, running, waiting, terminated, and the attributes include the process ID, program counter, process state, and priority and general purpose registers. And
That's
this,
the attributes, right?
these are the attributes, and the operations are process creation and process termination.
Sorry? What are the operations?
Process creation and process termination.
Okay, exactly. Thank you for your answer. Okay, actually, the answer for the question number 8 will be the process attributes. Some of the yesterday only we thought about this. No, day before yesterday. Okay. The process attributes are process ID, program counter, process state, priority, general purpose register, list of open files, list of open devices, and protection. We just need to list out these things, and we should explain these things in 2 to 3 lines, because some only listing out is not fair. That's what I'm asked to explain in brief. And then states of processes. What are the states in the process? Okay, new, ready, run, block or wait, termination and completion, suspend ready, suspend wait or suspend block. These are the states you should mention for the process state functions. And the other simple answer is operations of process is nothing but process creation, process scheduling, process execution, process building, and deletion. For these things, if you have mentioned the explanation, means that question is exactly correct. Okay. And is diagram needed? No, it is not necessary. If you draw the diagram, means it is appreciable. Not a problem. Subaricognition. Subaricognition. Yeah. And can you answer for the 6th question? List and describe the brief about different applications of operating systems along with its merits and demerits. What I don't know the exact theory content what you have given. Just tell it in a summarized way. What should be written in this?
Application of operating systems, like process management, memory management, resource allocators, file handling.
Oh, no, it's not like that. Because applications means in real world, where are the different types of operating systems you are applying?
Batch OS.
Yeah, of course, like that one, yeah.
Batch OS, control cards,
Windows.
multi-program
No, not exactly like that. Applications means for each and every operating system is used for specific applications, means real-time applications. Okay, we don't for that type of applications. Okay, and here it comes like Windows, Unix, Macs, mobile, Android device, Raspberry Pi, Unix, like that it will come. Okay, for everything.
I attended 7th and 8th.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just telling you, someone been you might have this question in your mind or some oscillation. You understood this question in a different way. So for that one, I'm giving the explanation for this question.
Fine, sir.
So it should be like that, productified application. Okay. In that, what are the merits in each and every applications and demerits of applications? Like that only I expected and asked these questions. That's fine. Thank you for the answer.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, in the sixth question, you didn't mention that it should be real time now, sir. So,
Application means it is how it is applied is applications. Okay.
sir, but there is a difference between real time and the properties of the operating system, now, sir.
The properties, how the properties, if I am asking the property of the operating system, it will be property or what are the, how to say?
Property is also an applications, no, sir. If you mention real time now, then we will go for that, those Linux like that.
Application is applying something over it, okay? Property is the characteristics of the product. What are the things is inside the product? Okay. You should that. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes.
It differs. Application means it is just the application. App means where it is applied. This voice where it is applied. Windows is applied over the PCs. Unix is also applied over the PCs. Android is applied over the smartphones. It's different features. Okay, that thing only here it is as application. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. And coming to the problem, whether you feel this problem is easy or tough, random answer, anyone can say? Santana. Santana, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how is the problem? Was it easy for you or you felt difficult?
It was good only, sir. Already I tried 2 problems, sir.
Okay. So, I would like to share the problems, but I don't have it here. Is it necessary? Can I explain the problem here? Guys? Jai Surya? Santana, thank you. Thank you
Yes,
for the
sir.
response.
Yes, sir.
Jai Surya, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is the problem easy or I need to give you the representation where I can work out here?
Sir, can you
Say
repeat?
something. If you want means you tell what, if you don't want means you don't want like that.
Can you repeat?
Sorry?
Can you repeat, sir? I can't.
If you want me to show the problem on the screen, I will type it and show you. You want you that like that? I'm asking you.
Sir, no need.
No need. Okay, that's fine. I will let you the overall utilization dose time of this problem answer will be the 162. Okay, in that Gantt chart it will be 162. If you have any doubts, check your document. That will be the final answer. And the Q, what is the Q row of that Gantt chart will be the P1, P2, P3, and again P4, P1, P3, P4, and next P1, P3, P3. This is the Q of that Gantt chart. If you have any doubts, you can open your answer and check it. The final length will be 160. And as of now, it is okay. The question paper is completed. I'll stop the presentation. And regarding the projects also, announcement is given. And for tomorrow's class, and after a few minutes, you can take some break. And for tomorrow's class, I will be handling a process synchronization. Now, Professor Shivasankar will take the session, and he will carry out the sessions. And on Friday night, you should give the project details. I want exactly only $12 on each batch to our classroom, Google Classroom. In that, we will check it, which one is good and which one is not. I won't tell it is bad. It is not sufficient to promote it. Please think whether your goal of your project is reasonably useful for the society or yourself for anything. It should be useful to the humans. Okay. That's fine. And as after a while, I will sign off, and Professor Shiva Shankar will come and take the classes for you. And you can take a short break of 10 to 15 minutes and come back at 2:25 or 2:30. Thank you.
I have receiving some queries on bankers algorithm. Now we got some smartboard here so that we can may understand properly. Yesterday I was using Paint. Now I can able to use that. Is the screen is visible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll write down the question. You just carry on this, whatever the thing I'm writing here, you note it down in your notebook. First, I'm writing about current allocation matrix. My screen is visible to you? My board is visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We have a three process here, R1, R0, R1 and R2. And we have a three process, P0, P1, P2. So P0's request is like this, 1, 0 and 2. For P1, the request is like 0, 3 and 1. For P2, the request is like 1, 0 and 2. The maximum needed for this system is like maximum need matrix is R0, R1, R2, the max need of process P0 is like 4, 1 and 2. For P1, it's like 1, 5 and 1. For P2, 1, 2 and 3. Now we need to find a future need of this system. So how we are going to find out our future need of the system? We are just going to minus the max need and current allocation. Future need. How we are going to find our future need is future need is equal to max need minus current allocation. Am I audible to you guys? Yeah. So how we need to do our future need matrices, how we have to found our future need is, we are just minusing the maximum need matrix minus current allocation. So why we need to do is the system resources might change. So in order to do that, we have to find out the future matrix of all the resources. So listen here, how I am calculating my future need of these systems. Process R0, R1 and R2. If the words are clearly visible, P0, P1, P2. So now what we are going to do is, we are minusing the max need minus current allocation. So what is happening here? 4 minus 1, what it mean? 3, right? We'll be putting 3 here. So 0 minus 1, it will be a 1 only. Sorry, 1 minus 0, it will be 1. 2 minus 2, it will be 0. For P1, 1 minus 0, nothing is going to affect. So we will be getting 1 only. So what will be 5 minus 3? We will be getting 2. For 1 minus 1, we will be getting 0 here. 0 of R2 resources. For P2, see here, we are minusing 1 minus 1. So we will be getting 0 here. This is our future need matrix. So we are minusing the max need minus current allocation. We are doing the subtraction operation here with row and columns. For here the columns are in resources and rows are in processes. So if you are minusing 2 minus 0, 2 only. So 3 minus 2 will be getting 1 here. So what we are going to do here, we need to find our availability is now, in the question they will be giving the availability. So here what the availability here, 2, 2 and 0. So with this availability, we need to find whether the system is safe or unsafe. We need to find the sequence of it. So what we are going to do here, with the future need and current availability, that is nothing but 2, 2, 0, we need to find the safe sequence for the system to say that whether it's a safe or unsafe. So guys, did you copy it? Because I need to rub down some part, this thing, whatever I written. Can you guys please written it down so that we can continue with this? Is my entire board is visible to you so that I can utilize the upper part of this board? Guys, please. Okay. Okay. Our new availabilities, the existing availabilities 2, 20. So with this availability, which process request we can able to satisfy? Can anyone tell me? We just listen, see here. We can
P1, sir.
P1's request we can satisfy, right?
Yes, sir.
If P1's request has been satisfied, and then whatever the resources it's been already holding, the resources will be released and given back to the pool of resources. So what is happening here? If it is releasing, if we can able to satisfy the request of P1. So what's the request? It's already what's the already resources it's holding? See here, 2, 2, 0. So if we can able to satisfy the request of P0, the resources that are already holding by the P naught will be released now. So 0, 3, 1. We are just taking the current allocations request here, because whenever you are giving the resources back to the process, whenever the process request has been fulfilled, the existing current matrix that will be already in the pool of resources will be released. So we are getting the request. It's something like that. As I told you on the yesterday's class, if you have a 2 pen, then you will be considered that you will be having a 2 pen. Here the pen is like a resources, and you are giving it to your friend. When it comes back to you, what you can say that you will be holding a 2 pen, right? That same what it's been happening here. So we are substituting this thing. What is happening here? 2 plus 0, which is 2. 2 plus 5, 2 plus 3, it's like 5, and 1. So we can able to satisfy P1, right? So our new availability will become like 2, 5, 1. So with this, whose request can we able to fulfill now? Can anyone tell me? We have satisfied P1's request. Next, upon whose request we can able to satisfy? We can't able to fulfill P naught's request, because it requires another P naught. Yeah, we can able to satisfy P naught's request, right? But we can't able to P2's request. Okay, I am taking P1's request. If I am able to satisfy, P1's request has been already satisfied, right? P naught request. So if I am able to satisfy P naught's request, so whatever the resources that it's been holding here will come back to us. So I'm just adding that resources in the pool of requests. So it will be added here 1, 0, 2. So what it will be here? Like first we have satisfied P naught, right? P1's request we have satisfied. Next we are satisfying P1's request. So P1's request means 0, 3, 1. Okay, 1 minute. Guys, did you copy it apart from this? What about others?
Yes, sir, done, sir.
Guys, please respond. I can receive answers from only 2 guys.
We have copied, sir.
Okay.
Done, sir.
So far we have given, we have fulfilled our P1's request, right? So what's our availability now? 2, 5, 1, right? So our new available will become like 2, 5, and 1. So you just compare this request with the existing future needs. So with this, whose request we can able to fulfill now? We have already satisfied P naught's request. So whose request we can able to satisfy now?
P1, sir. P2 also.
P1, right? P1 we have already satisfied. Only
P2.
P2, P0 and P2 is
P2,
remaining.
sir. P2.
P2. If we can able to satisfy P2's request, then what's the existing resources it will release? 102, right?
Yes, sir.
102. So what will be like 3? We are just adding that request now. Sorry, pool of resources. This is 2, right? Okay. Here we'll be getting 3, 5, and 3. So with this availability, we can even satisfy P2 now. We have taken P2, right? We have already satisfied. Whose request first?
P1 and P2.
P1 and P2. Still P not is there, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
With 3, 5, 3, we can able to give R0 of 0 and R1 of 2 and R2 of 1. Then it will release. What's the current allocation of P0? Can anyone tell me?
102.
So it will be like 4, 5, and 5. So in order to say that system is a safe, so what's the safe sequence here?
P1, P2, P0.
P1, P2, and P0. And whether this system is facing a deadlock here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No deadlock, right?
Yes, sir.
Is everyone got this point? So everyone is okay with this? Can we move on to the next thing?
Yes, sir.
What about the others?
Yes, sir.
Guys, did you note it down? Have you taken the notes?
Yes, sir.
Can we move on to resource allocation graph?
Yes, sir.
Here, therefore, we can declare this. There is no possibilities of deadlock if they follow this sequence. So moving on to this section, we'll be seeing now resource allocation graph. You guys have studied data structures, right?
Yes, sir.
Uh, what's the incoming vertex and outgoing vertex in graph? Can anyone tell me what is the incoming of P2 here? Incoming vertex will be
P1.
P1 and outgoing vertex of P2. Can anyone tell me?
P3.
Okay, I just want to brush up these concepts because we are going to see here like resource allocation graph. Here, with the help of some diagrams, we are going to see whether that system is in deadlock, is in state of deadlock or not. As we discussed on yesterday, when we are saying that a circular weight, we draw some diagram, right? We came across some diagram. I'll draw it down. Firstly, we need to know that resources are of many types. There will be a single instances resources. We'll specify it like this. We can call it as a single instance resources. And when we have a two dot here, we can declare it as an multi-instance resources. So you're clear about this, right? If you have an one dot in that vertexes or node, we can call it as a single instances. If you have a two dots inside your vertexes, if we can declare it as a multi-instances resources. So make sure about this. Now we are going to see a graph here. Here, what it means, if we have a single dot, R1 is holding one single dot, what it means that? Can anyone tell me?
It's a single instance resource.
Okay, good. We have a two process and two resources. And we have another resources here. So P1 is holding with R1 and P2 is requesting for R2's request. R1 and R2. And R2 is dedicated for P2. And P2 is requesting for R1 here. This is not a dotted line. This pen is not working properly. Is that clearly visible? This is not a dotted line. This is continue lines.
Okay.
Okay. From this graph, we are going to draw a table here. What we are going to do here is, we have a P1 and P2. And we are getting to know about allocation and future need of this both process. We have a two process here, right? What are the names? R1 and R2. Future need of this resources like that same resources like R1 and R2. So if you see P1's process 1's request, so it is currently holding P1, right? In order to find an allocation, you need to go to resources and you have to check the outgoing edges of those resources. In this process, what we are going to do here is we are going to check the R1's, resource 1's, then we are going to see the outgoing edges of those resources. So it is holding P1. So we are putting 1 here, and for R2, there we are not getting any outgoing edges for P1, but whereas it is going for P2. So we are putting 1 here. Apart from that, we are putting 0. Why? Can anyone tell me? Because those requests are not been possible now. Not possible. They are not holding any resources. So we are putting just a simple 0 assumption. For a future need, what's a process P1's request here? If you observe this diagram, you can tell me.
0, 1 and 1, 0, sir.
Why?
Because I have already used R1, sir. Now I want to use R2.
Very good. So, by seeing the diagram, we can say that R1, for P1 in future, it doesn't request R1's request. So, we are putting 0 here. But for P1 in future, it needs R2's request. So, we are putting 1 here. So, same like this, we are putting, when we are coming to process P2, we are currently holds R2, but whereas in future its request is like P2's request is R2, right? Sorry, PR1. So they are putting 1 here and 0 here. So can anyone say me the availability now?
No resources is available, sir, because all resources are used, sir.
Okay, very good. So what's that? What it means?
We can use wait and release, sir, as you said yesterday.
No, this comes in the resource allocation graph. Whatever the thing, it's been existing, whether we need to say that that system is in a safe or not. By observing this graph, we have to mention whether it's the system is in a safe or not. We don't have to propose any new method, this thing, solution for that. We need to find that whether the system is in a safe sequence or not. Now, why? Can you tell me why? No, that's good. So if you see here, our availability is P1 is already existing. P1 is already giving resources to P1, and it can't fulfill the request of P2 because in future it's requesting for R1's request. Same for like P2. It will be requesting the resources of R1, but it can't be able to satisfy. Then we can therefore we can say that the system is in a unsafe, right?
Sir, what if both process end at the same time, sir?
Process ends at the same time means?
Both the resources will be free so that both can exchange like that, it won't happen, sir.
In those cases, we can say that the system might be in a safe case, but it's not feasible because the different process will be having a different kind of bus time, right? When we saw in CPU scheduling, that time you might have observed that bus time differs for each process. Even the completion time will be varying, depends upon the scheduling algorithm. Did you understand?
Sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Bus time and completion time will vary for all the process. Even it is in micro nanoseconds. The process requesting that are holding in the current resource pool of resources, it's not able to feasible for any process to get a completion on that. So that's what happening here. What we have done here with the help of graph, we plotted a table here. how we plotted our table? Can anyone tell me?
Using inward and outward, sir.
Okay, that's good. How we are taking inward?
Means from R1, P1 is getting the resource, which is inward, sir. In future, P1 requires R2, so that it is outward, sir.
Okay, that's good. Everyone copied this? Guys, respond. What about others?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You guys
Yes, sir.
copied?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Can I erase it? Or should I have to wait for some time? Can I move on to the next thing? So far we have seen only single instances resources. Next we are going to multi-instances resources. As I told earlier, if we have now one dot inverts one dot, then we'll call it as a single instances. What is meant by single instances? You can ask me a question on this. If a process comes with a request to CPU, it requires only in CPU's computation or ALU, that arithmetic logic unit. Whatever the requests that resources that are coming to the CPU, it will come with single instances resources that are been holding in the system. So when it comes to multi-instances resources, the process might come within a different resources that are they are expecting. So here some process will require for an IO request. Some process will require only CPU thing. So in this case, this process requesting for two instances. So what it means that, for example, I am taken that a single that single dot is means that CPU, and the other dot means that IO operation, input and output operation, like a printer, scanner devices that are expecting by that particular process. Are you sure about this? Can I move on to the next thing? Which part, ma? Single instances means, consider this as a process 1. It is expecting the CPU to given a resources. Sorry, this process is moving to the CPU execution. Okay. It requires only CPU operation. With that, they can able to make an execution in the kernel level, that is OS. Okay. If another process comes into the CPU, it requires both CPU and IO's requests. So in that case, the process is requesting multi-instances. Multi-instances resource. Yeah, that's what I mentioned here. That this process is expecting CPU and IO execution. Then we'll call it as a multi-instances resources. Can I erase it? Guys, respond.
Yes, sir. Sir, then it's like for hold and wait, we can use multiple nodes.
Hold and wait?
For hold and wait operations, we can use multiple instances also.
Yeah, hold and wait means what will be having in a P1. Sorry. In this case, how you able to achieve that hold and wait mechanism? Can you tell me? P1 is expecting R1 and after some point of its execution, it is expecting for R2.
Yes, sir.
How you can able to achieve circular wait here? Sorry, hold and wait.
In this, not possible.
But it's feasible only if the resources is available.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. From resource to process, it's possible.
Now see here. Now we have another resources of R3 and it's giving only some request. Sorry, it is holding P1's. Sorry, for example, can I erase it here so that it will be clear?
Yes, sir.
Can I erase it fully?
Yes, sir.
So by seeing this diagram itself, we can say that it's in a deadlock state.
Yes, sir.
Even if you apply which thing?
Hold and wait.
Hold and wait. Why?
Sir, you have to P1.
P2 is expecting for R1 and R2 and P2 is having resources of R2 and in
R1.
future it is requesting for R1. Will it be possible of hold and wait?
No, no, no.
Sir, directly itself it can be possible if R1 and R2 has resources in excess rate, sir.
Yeah, that's what. If you have another resources of R3 here, it is not holding any process, then we can give the request of P1's request can be transferred here.
No, we can achieve it.
But it's not feasible in real world applications, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This resources can be of like scanner, but it's expecting only just consider this CD drive. This one is a tape drive. Can you tell me now? P1 is expecting for a tape drive and CD drive. But if you are giving an resources of a scanner, will it be possible for the execution of P1's request?
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
It's something like if you are going to hotel and you are ordering some items, your favorite items, and the waiter is giving some other item. Will you able to accept it?
No, sir.
It's not good, right?
Yes, sir.
Sir, 3 instance resources is also possible, sir.
How
Yes.
much possible?
Any example, sir?
Like if you want to print in your system, will it be possible for a CPU to predict that your future needs after a scanner? Sorry, after printing, you will be browsing for some time. Browser's code will be different, and you will be doing scanning. That scanner code will be different. Then what else you will be doing? You will be doing some gaming. That particular gaming software will be different. Will RAM be able to load all this code in possible? Will the RAM able to predict this? Can anyone tell me? According to user mindset only, they will be working on the system, right?
Yes, sir.
Then predicting of a future, it's not different. Predicting of a future is not been able to possible in even in the system. So for just for a practical, we can say that those methodologies are feasible. But when it comes to real world applications, it's not been able to feasible. In some cases, we can say that it can be able to achieve because when you are start to do this working in your system, this RAM will be divided of user space and OS space and application space, right?
Yes, sir.
Whenever you will switch on your system, what will be happening? From your hard disk, your OS code will be loaded here. Then in the remaining user space, whatever the operation that you are doing, for example, you might have opened Google Chrome. Sidely, you will be opening your Spotify account. And whenever class is happening, you will be getting bored and you will be opening Facebook. Then what else you will be doing now? Even when this class is going on, some guys will be browsing. It will be full of different resources, right? Processes, right? Then will it be possible to RAM to predict that whatever the next operation that you are going to do in your system?
No, sir.
Can we move on to multi-instances resources?
Yes, sir.
R1 is in a single instances resources here, and it's giving a request of fulfilling the process P1's request. And we have another resources of R2. It's a multi-instances resources. And we have another process P2. Another process of P3. P1 is expecting for R1. And from R2, one of these instances has been dedicated to P2. Can you guys help me to plot the table now? Allocation and future need. So how many number of processes we have here? Can anyone tell me? Can you tell the names of this process? P1, P2, P3. And for we have how many number of resources we have here? R1, R2, R1, R2. Can anyone tell me what's the R1's allocated matrix? Guys, come on. Even if it is wrong, you can just give a try here. What's the P1's allocation here?
1, sir. 1.
1 0.
R1 is 1.
R2 0.
R2 is 0. Good. For P2?
P R1 0. R1 0, sir. R2 1. Yes, sir.
R2 1. And for R1?
0.
0, right? How you are telling it now? How you told this?
Inward arrow, sir.
Inward edge, sir.
What's the future need of P1 and R1? 0, right?
0 1, sir.
P1 and R2 in future?
1, sir. 1, sir.
Same like for P2. Can anyone come up with that answer?
R1.
Good. For P3?
Same, sir. 0 0 0 0.
Okay. What's the availability now?
0 0.
How you are telling? All our resources are dedicated to some process, right?
Yes, sir.
So our availability is 0 0. With this availability, can we able to satisfy anyone's request here?
P3 future request alone we can satisfy.
Good. 0 0. Then what's the request already been allocated to P3 here? Sorry? No. This two thing will be added here, right? So 0 1 0 1. So we are executed P3. So with this zeros 1, I will new availability.
P1, sir.
So if we can able to satisfy P1's request, then what will be the allocated now? 0 1 allocated, already holding the request of P1. 1 0, right?
1 0. So 1 1.
1 1.
Now P2.
So our new available. So we are able to satisfy P2, right?
Yes, sir.
1 1. What's the already allocated of P2's resources?
0 1.
0 1 1 and 2. Okay. What's the save sequence of this system?
P3 P1 P2.
P3 P1 P2. We can declare this system is in a safe or unsafe.
Safe.
Guys, have you taken the notes of it? Okay, sure. Okay. Now we are doing it for another multi instances. Take this one as an homework. We have two process here, P1 and P0, and another two process here, P2 and P3. We have another multi instances resources here. P0 is requesting R3 of R3's resources, and P0 is been already dedicated to here. And from R2 we are getting P1s, and for P2 one instance of R2 is being dedicated, and another instances of R2 is dedicated to P3. Now we have one instances of free in R3. Guys, note it down. Take this one as a homework for your improvement on your understanding. You just find your maximum allocated matrix and future need. By finding it out, what we can say, whether this system is in a safe sequence or not. Can you able to find the max and allocated of this graph? We have a 4 process here, P0, P1, P2 and P3. What are the resources here? R1, R2 and R3. Same like R1, R2, R3. Can you guys able to find out this? Can you able to find this safe sequence? Guys, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Take this as an hands-on. And try to do it in another 20 minutes or 25 minutes. We'll wind up this day with this hands-on experience of this resource allocation graph. If anyone can able to find this safe sequence, can anyone say me the safe sequence?
Doing, sir. Doing, sir.
Let's examine this resource.
Guys, I will start to do. You just tell me the maximum allocated of P note is going for R1, for R2 it's 0, and for R3 which is 1, right? So the allocated is 1, 0, 1. For P1, where it is going 1, 1, and for R3 it's not going 0. For P2, what is happening here? When you are coming to P2, we have only R2 here. So we are putting 1. For P3, we are getting resources from R2 only. For P3, we are putting 1. So for remaining things, there is no resources are being required for this. 0, 0. Now what's the need now? Can anyone tell me? One, 0, 1. Oh,
Sir, 0,
0, 1, 1, right?
0, 0, 1, sir.
0, 0, 1, sir.
0, 0, 1, sir.
For P1,
1, 0.
1, 0, 0.
how you are telling?
Because it's needed only on R1, sir.
What about P2?
0, 0, 0.
0,
0, 0, 0.
P2.
Yes, sir. Doesn't need any resource feature, no, sir.
Okay. What about P3?
0, 0, 0.
0, 0, 0, sir.
So what's our availability here?
0, 0, 1.
We have 1 resources here, right?
Yes, sir.
Ashwin, can you tell me the availability of this resource? Ashwin, are you there? 62, 9062. Ashwin, are you there? You tell me the availability now. What's our availability? Ashwin, respond. Respond to my queries. What's our availability now? Deepak, are you there? Deepak, Deepak R. 006. Deepak, can you tell me the availability? Deepak, tell me the availability of this graph. Deepak, if you guys are not responding, I can't able to give the attendance for you guys. By getting to know about the availability, you just tell me that availability. We'll wind up that section with this availability itself, so that you guys can able to find the safe sequence. So it's 0, 0 and 1. With this availability, whose request we can able to satisfy first? P naught. We can able to satisfy P naught's request. Then whatever the resources that are holding by the P naught will be released. So whatever the resources currently it's been holding, like in R1 it's 1 and R2 it's 0 and R3 it's 1. So when you calculate it, 1, 0, 1. So with 1, 0, 1, whose request we can able to satisfy? P1. So what are P1's request? We can able to satisfy P1's request. Then we will be getting 1, 1, 0. So 1, 0, 1, 2, 1 and 1. P0, P1. And we can declare from here itself that system is in a safe state. Guys, do you have any query on this?
No, sir.
Shall we wind up this session? Can we wind up this section? Can anyone tell me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
In tomorrow's class, what we are going to see in tomorrow's class is process synchronization. And some solutions on this problem. And some inter-process communication, how two processes will be communicating each other. These are the two main topics that we are going to discuss on tomorrow. You guys go through this topic in our shared material. You will be getting a quiz on tomorrow afternoon. So syllabus will be like whatever the thing that we taught so far. We'll be having a quiz too on tomorrow. So be prepared and come for this. we are very serious about the quiz timing. So yesterday we got some late submissions. Even for 20-25 minutes, the guys who have been posting their queries afterwards, even after the quiz has been closed from our end. So make sure that you have to submit your quiz whatever the time that we are specifying, because you are doing it in online. Okay, guys. Any other queries from your end? Shall we wind up the session?
If there is no response, we can take another topic for 1 hour.
No, sir. We can wind up, sir. We can wind up.
Wind up now. Then give some response at the end of the class.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Thank you,
Sir.
Okay, thank you. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, Prabhu. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. Yeah.
Have a nice evening. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Have a nice day.
Don't forget to post your project material, okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye, sir.
Going there using